Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Elimination Chamber and I'm going to give my predictions on the card. I feel like we got the general gist of what the card is going to be. A lot of these PLEs for Triple H's era, this new era, is 4 to 5 matches, maybe 4 matches and some event, and it seems like that event will be The Rock and Cody Rhodes. We'll talk about that in a second, but I'm going to give my predictions on what's going to happen, what this would mean for WrestleMania, all that good stuff. First things first, let's start off with the tag team match. Now, this match is the most underwhelming by far on this card. It doesn't move me. The only reason why this is on the card is because you get that Trish Stratus pop for being a Canadian. Ultimately, this could have been anything else, literally anything else, and I would have been more interested. It should have been, in reality, it should have been either Rhea versus Io, or it should have been Nia versus Tiffany on this card. It could have been even better, since Nia is a heel and Tiffany had beef with Trish Stratus. Tiffany had beef with Trish Stratus. This could have been a Nia versus Tiffany special guest referee, Trish Stratus. That would have been so much better. So a tag team match that's really not going to be that great. This is not, I didn't like how this made it on the card. And even if you wanted it to do something like this could have been on the SmackDown before the PLE. This could have been a United States champion. It could have been a mid-card title match. Yeah, this is just a fumble. I didn't like how this was on the card. But with that said, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus are obviously going to win. I don't think the feud between Nia and Tiffany is going to be over. You could make it a triple threat, Nia versus Charlotte versus Tiffany at WrestleMania. I think you should just have Tiffany versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, and then after WrestleMania, if Tiffany Stratton retains, you finish the feud between Nia and Tiffany afterwards. I think that's the best course of action. Kind of weird situation here. Also, there's little rumors that the women are not happy how they're booked. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It definitely 100% could be better. All right, now let's get into the juicy stuff, the more interesting parts of this PLE. Let's start off with Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now, this has a strong argument to be the main event of Elimination Chamber. The Canadian pop you're gonna get, it's two Canadians, two iconic Canadians in wrestling. This is a blood feud. This is no unsanctioned. Legitimately, I'll make the argument, since we saw what happened between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, that this should main event Elimination Chamber. It just should. This will get the loudest crowd reaction in the entire show. So this is my main event. This should main event. If it ain't main eventing, it at the very least should open. This is going to be a huge match. Now, personally, I was thinking how it should go. Will a interference happen from someone like a Randy Orton? I personally don't want an interference. I personally want a straight up match. The winner takes all. And I think Kevin Owens will win this match. I think Kevin Owens will destroy Sami Zayn. He will potentially about to end Sami Zayn's career. And just before he ends it, Randy Orton comes back in a save to end it, setting up Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I think that's the route you should go. I think this match is going to be a 5-star. Well, my rating system is 1 star bad, 2 stars mid, 3 stars good, 4 stars masterclass. I think this could be a 4-star, or if your rating system is 5-star, masterclass match. Next, let's talk about the women's Elimination Chamber. Now, if we're being honest on how more than likely it's going to get booked, Elimination Chamber women's is going to open. Men's Elimination Chamber might close, or it might be the last match, and then the Rock and Cody stuff, we'll save that for later. Might close, we'll see. But women's Elimination Chamber, a lot of interesting elements. My dark horse, the one I want to win, is Roxanne Perez, because I want them to put a battery in Roxanne Perez's back. I want her to soar to the moon, and I want her to beat Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I just feel like that would be super interesting. Who I think is going to win, I hear the case for Liv Morgan. I think Bayley's going to win the Elimination Chamber. That's who I'm banking on, because I do think they want to do Bayley versus Rhea Ripley or Bayley versus Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania. So I do think that is going to be the play. Plus the storyline or the back to back to back of beating all the four horsewomen makes sense to me. So I think Rhea and Io is not going to be a like full match. I think it might be a no contest or something. Bayley's going to win the Elimination Chamber. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans, of course, a lot of maybe interference from a so-called Jade Cargill, who might go after Naomi or Bianca. A lot could happen. Bayley's my winner, and it could be a Bayley versus Roxanne Perez final or a Bayley versus Liv Morgan final. Next, let's move on to the men's Elimination Chamber. Now, very stacked Elimination Chamber. It would have been better if you replaced Damian Priest for someone like a Roman Reigns, but ultimately a lot of star power here, and Logan Paul is a mainstream media superstar. With that said, I personally have John Cena winning the Elimination Chamber. I know people are talking about how it's John Cena continuously losing will just play into the story where he can't get the final prize, winning that 17th. I think personally, a dark horse, I'm going to say this first and then I'm going to kind of go into my logic in terms of John Cena winning, as a dark horse could be Drew McIntyre wins the Elimination Chamber, and then we have a triple threat between Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And what makes that super interesting is that when it comes down to the feud, if it was like someone else, you would have Drew McIntyre being a heel. Drew McIntyre has been clowning Cody Rhodes on social media and in the ring. Drew McIntyre can 100% make sense in this spot. And if you throw in The Rock, you could do a situation with like Drew McIntyre takes The Rock's offer to be his champion. That could be interesting too in this scenario. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. With that said, let's go into something else. What I think is going to happen. So John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. It will end with John Cena versus CM Punk potentially. John Cena wins. John Cena challenges Cody. Big thing. And then I think CM Punk cashes in his favor to make it a triple threat main event at WrestleMania between John Cena, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes. Arguably the biggest match you can make. So that's kind of the route I'm thinking here. Logan's going to have some good spots. Drew McIntyre is going to crash out. Seth Rollins is going to crash out. But let's talk about the Rock and Cody deal, right? Now, there's a couple ways this can play out. The Rock is trying to turn Cody heel, and the segment on Friday made it very obvious that that's what he's intending to do, even though the promo itself was not good because he kept on repeating himself. With that said, there's a lot of interesting elements here. One, you can turn Cody heel, or you can manipulate Cody being heel by, threatening his family or something like that. Turn Cody heel, and then it would be a better scenario in terms of setting up a heel corporate Cody, John Cena, and CM Punk. That would be very interesting because 3 baby faces is very hard to figure out like how you're going to do this. Who are the fans going to get behind? Will the fans get behind everybody? It's sometimes you need to have a bad guy in that scenario, and that could be Cody Rhodes. Now, personally, I really like Cody Rhodes. I think that he would be a forever babyface, but there's just more avenues you can do with Cody Rhodes being a heel, considering so many people are babyfaces due to having that nostalgia factor. Like John Cena, retirement tour, babyface, forever babyface. CM Punk, his super glazed, he's a forever babyface. Randy Orton is a old legend. It's even hard for us to see him turning heel, so he might just be a babyface for moving forward until the end of his career too. Like those are the big feuds for Cody, and they're kind of like forever baby faces because they're legends in the business. So it's just easier to turn Cody Rhodes heel. And if like Roman Reigns enters in the equation again, Roman Reigns just went through the whole heel thing. Now he's OTC, so he's kind of a babyface now. So with that said, it would make sense that Cody Rhodes is a heel in this scenario. And it would be very interesting that Cody Rhodes can be propelled in his career, that he becomes that, how like Homelander had Vought? Cody Rhodes could officially be the Cody Lander that people have been saying, and his Vought is TKO. They will be right behind him as he dominates the company and dominates the business. The other idea that I do think is interesting is obviously Cody Rhodes turns down the offer. Maybe Roman Reigns steps in, goes like, how can you offer him that? I'm your family. You can set up Roman versus The Rock that way. You can set up Rock having a backup plan where he recruits maybe Jacob Fatu's or some other guys, go like, if you don't want to join me, and then I'm gonna end you. And then The Rock, has a bunch of people go up against Cody, and Cody has to go up against the Authority. That could be very interesting. You can have it where, let's say, Drew McIntyre wins the Elimination Chamber. The Rock makes a deal with Drew McIntyre and makes him his champion, and then Drew McIntyre is backed by the company, and then you can set up Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. You can set up Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk when CM Punk cashes in his favor. There's a lot of interesting things you can do here potentially beyond like The Rock having weird promos recently. But there's story here that can make this WrestleMania huge. It can, because The Rock will be the biggest heel in the company. The Rock will be that villain that people like Roman and Cody have to get behind. And if he has a champion, that makes a big threat again that Cody needs right now. The only threats that Cody Rhodes has is baby faces. It's Randy Orton, it's John Cena and CM Punk. They're just baby faces, so it's hard for there to be a like against all odds storyline for Cody. The only one that can compete with Cody, but it's not on Cody's levels, like Drew McIntyre is a heel. Like he's the biggest. Drew McIntyre right now is the biggest heel in the company. So this could be interesting. So ultimately, what do I think was going to happen? I think I'm just going to cheat a little bit. I think either Cody Rhodes accepts that offer based off The Rock trying to manipulate him, or Cody Rhodes denies the offer, and either Roman steps in to face The Rock for betraying him, or The Rock recruits another champion. And that's the villain against Cody for WrestleMania. So with that said, let me know your thoughts for Elimination Chamber. I think for the most part, it will be a very good show. I think the tag team match is going to be the worst part. They fumbled on what they could have done for the fourth match. They really just did. But I think this will be a banger. I think I'll enjoy it a lot. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed. You have a good one. Take care. Peace.